This is gonna be a longer video. I don't edit my videos just yet, just because I haven't put the time in to figure out how to just crop it, where I cut out that pause I would have cut out if I knew how to edit. But for now, I'm just gonna keep doing these car vlogs where it's just me rambling for a long time, but I'm using a different phone that probably will be better for this since I don't care about its battery life. So I might be able to do more of this. I also plan on getting one of those microphones that a lot of vloggers on Instagram and TikTok use with the little fur on it. Hopefully I get that soon, and maybe I could afford a camera and a laptop as well. But the point of this video is to be very honest about myself, but also express some opinions about the current state of the world in general, but also my world. So, I'm a huge hip-hop fan. I've really gotten into it. I even made some videos reviewing the Clips album that I haven't posted yet, that might post after this. I don't know. I might do a new video of it just because my opinion has changed after sitting with it long enough. But I'm a very big hip-hop fan. And I'm a very big Kendrick fan. Hip-hop is inherently political. It's been diluted to the point where it's not political anymore. But before 2012, maybe 2010, it was inherently political. Like, it was in its DNA. It was either political or club bangers. Because, the lyrical stuff would probably be political. Like, Eminem was very political. NWA was extremely political. A lot of hip hop is, the point of it is to be political. So it's impossible to fall in love with hip hop to the point that I have, and I'm still barely scratching the surface. But it's difficult to fall in love with it the way I have and not learn political things about it. And one thing I want to make clear is that I really want to fight, that I'll dig into later. I do not want to appropriate this at all. I understand the ramifications of me being white and a fan of this and being within this community, and even having the thought sometimes of writing my own rhymes. I do not want to appropriate this. I want to appreciate it. I want to talk about it, and I want to appreciate the art. I'm not in it just to have background noise. I'm in it to have background noise and then give me food for thought. Because I really like thinking. That's why I like lyrical things. I like deconstructing things. But like I mentioned, it's very political, and it's difficult to get into hip-hop without recognizing that, unless if you're just a surface level hip-hop fan where you only listen to Travis Scott and Playboi Carti, which Travis Scott is mid, Playboi Carti sucks. I don't care what you say, they suck. And for me, To Pimp a Butterfly was the beginning of my political resurgence in myself, because I've mentioned in a video before, I was red-pilled. I was probably objectively racist. I was probably a white supremacist, and I was very misogynistic and just not a great person. But to my credit, I was young, so I had time to stop that development into a worse person with those ideas, which I thankfully did. But I was still on that path, but then I diverged from that path. I think it's funny. I think I diverged from that path from my first ex-girlfriend, whenever me and her started talking again, because her roommate was extremely red-pilled, like neo-Nazi type of thing. And she masked herself by vibing with that on the surface. But whenever it was just me and her talking politics, she was very, at least, democratic, which isn't great, but it's better than being Republican and neo-Nazi. And she's the one that started me realizing that we really lost out whenever Trump got elected, but I didn't realize how bad Kamala Harris was before I further learned about political stuff. But she's still better. She's the lesser evil of two evils. So we still lost when Trump got elected. If you're a Trump supporter and a Republican, I'm not gonna debate with you. Fuck you if you are an educated Republican. Fuck you. Just period. Point blank. If you know what you're talking about and you aren't rich, if you are rich, still fuck you. But if you're not rich, but you are educated in political agendas and the political situation, and you still side with Trump, there's something seriously wrong with you. Seriously wrong. Because when a conservative like I was actually starts questioning the reality, you realize how evil Trump is. But that aside, I won't go further into that because that's a whole rant. I'm not going to debate with you if you are educated Republican. If you are uneducated but you're still Republican, educate yourself. Please ask questions. I'm not going to fight with you over that. Just if you refuse to do any research, that's on you. I'm not going to fight you over it. But if you do research, then I will heavily consider debating and talking with you, because there are very few genuine Republicans that will change their mind unless they want to do research. But my point is, TPAP and the small introduction to the Democratic side of the United States from my first ex-girlfriend really started the revolution within my mind. From a red pill to a socialist to a probable fascist and white supremacist into a democratic socialist that is pro-black, anti-ICE, which inherently makes me pro-Mexican, because that would be weird to be anti-Mexican but also anti-ICE. I mean, it would be weird, but it wouldn't be as weird as I initially thought. Because you could dislike Mexicans, but dislike the idea of people kidnapping people. But anyway, there's an ambulance. But anyway, To Pimp a Butterfly started the revolution within my mind. Because it's inherently political. It's very good. It sounds really good. You can bump it and vibe with it just from how it sounds. But when you start to dissect it, when you start learning what 40 acres and a mule means, if you have empathy within your heart, you start realizing how awful it is in America, but specifically for black people. And what I wanted to come on here and say is, I wanted to be vulnerable about my position previously, about how I used to be a Tater Tot, big Andrew Tate fan, and then express that I went from that to a socialist. There is hope, because I'm fortunate for the type of person I am. I'm not particularly intellectual. I'm not special. I'm just a regular guy. But every regular person has some quirks about them, and my quirk is being able to get excited about things I want to learn and being able to take in information, sit on it, and after a while of digesting it, really understand it. Like it took me a couple months. I'm a big soccer fan. It took me a couple months to learn and understand soccer to a point where I could break it down to a 5-year-old. But at the beginning, I was just overloading myself, just taking in a bunch of information, didn't understand any of it until a couple months later. But that slow digestion made it where I understood it a little better than the normal person, especially since I'm very analytical about things. So I like tactics, and the same thing is true for anything politically involved. I am uneducated, but I still know enough to be on the right side of history. But that's just, I have 2 messages here. That's my first message of being vulnerable, how I was basically a piece of shit Republican, transformed into a democratic socialist that really loves Mamdani. I forget his first name and how to pronounce it properly, but Mamdani of the Democratic Party running for mayor in New York. He's awesome. Also, Signified B-Sides FD Signifier, and his second channel, Signified B-Sides. Check him out if you are interested in learning anything political, because everything political is heavily involved with Black people. African American culture is basically the forefront of our political society here in America. Like, the reason we have so many problems in America politically is not because of Black people, but because of the problems Black people have been facing for centuries. And that rolls into my second message. Let's be clear. Racism sucks ass. Racism, bad. Being a racist is bad. But what is worse and what we need to fight against, and this is a message for every open-minded white person out there, even if you're Republican, if you're willing to learn and you're willing to just listen to what I'm about to say, racism is a problem, but that's not the root of the cause. If we get rid of racists, the systematic problems don't go away. If you are listening, especially if you're white, because every other ethnicity in this country understands this, even if they don't realize it. The real problem is white supremacy. And I feel immense white guilt because of that. And that's why I'm so strong about not appropriating Black culture. I want to appreciate it. I want to learn it. I want to understand it. And I want to respect it. And I want to spread it to other people. I don't want it to selfishly season my food. I want to appreciate it, season my food with it, but then give back for the beautiful culture that I'm learning, that I still have time to learn, that I still have a lot to learn about, and still a lot to appreciate. That's why I'm really looking into Black churches that I want to go to and be supportive of whatever movement. That's why I want to post on the Facebook group that I'm going to send this video to, of where I want to make a movement against this. White people, I'm talking to you if you're open-minded at all. Doesn't matter which side you're on. The real problem is white supremacy, and no one but white people can get rid of it. Because we are inherently the problem. It's an analogy for this is, let's categorize it into a person. If all white people were one person, that person would be a narcissist. And until that person realizes they are a narcissist, they cannot and will not change. So the majority of white people need to understand white supremacy is the problem. We are the narcissists in this situation. We need to realize that, internalize that, learn, and fight against it. Narcissists have selfish demons that influence their actions. And whenever they commit to those selfish actions, there's no one to blame but them. But a narcissist can change if they want to. White people can change if we want to. But we need to work together. We need to listen to other ethnicities and understand the problem. And when we get rid of white supremacy, we are not saving anyone. We are not anyone's saviors either. We should not get credit for that. It is our job to realize, us being a narcissist in my narcissist analogy, and then fight against that narcissism that is white privilege, but then refuse to be rewarded for it. We cannot be rewarded for it in a way that makes us feel good short term. We need to care about the long-term effects of solving that issue. And that issue is huge, especially with Republicans running this country. It would be so much better just for everybody if we fought against white supremacy, because we take away white supremacy, systematic issues don't fully go away, but are much easier to handle. The economy would be better for us. The rich wouldn't be... There would be so many barriers. There are so many barriers up. There are so many walls in our way if white supremacy continues in this country. But if we take white supremacy down some pegs and get rid of it, and even if we get rid of it entirely, those barriers go away. But it's not our job to cross those barriers and fight the people on the other side that would solve all our problems. No. We do need to fight along our colored brothers and sisters, all colors. But we cannot save anyone that way. It is our job as those that are progressive white people, that are open-minded, to fight against white supremacy and give all the communities, Black people, Latino people, Asian people, and any other ethnic group that is experiencing systematic issues in this country, is our job to give them the tools to save themselves. We cannot save them. They need to want to save themselves, but they can't. They cannot save themselves if we allow the system to stay the way that it is. They cannot fight white supremacy. They have been for decades and nearly centuries. Martin Luther King died. DMX. Fuck. Malcolm X died. They were assassinated because they were fighting white supremacy. That's why colored people can't fight it. They can't. The system fucks them in a way that they can't. But us white people benefit from the system, so we need to take those benefits and flip them on their head. And we are going to suffer in the long run. We aren't going to have those privileges. If white supremacy was to be extinct, we would not have the privileges we have today. But that's the point. We need equality. I do not want to be in a job field where I have a better chance of getting a pay raise just because I'm white. I want to get a pay raise because I'm better than everybody else that's working. That's fucking stupid that I might get a better position than all my contemporaries just because of my skin color. No, I want to do that because of my skill set, because of the man I am. Not because of my fucking skin color. That is ridiculous. That is unfair, and I hate unfair things. Which is why I'm so adamant about becoming a voice in fighting against the system. Because I want it to be fair. I want fairness. I want to face difficulty on my own so I can prove it to myself that I have what it takes. But I can't prove that if I am unfairly advantaged. And yes, that's a selfish way to look at it, but it's a reasonably selfish. Does that make sense? I do not want an inherent advantage. I would rather have the disadvantage of other races having biological advantages over me that they don't have control over. But being able to, like, for example, like, the stereotype is black people are really good at building muscle and strength. I'm fine with them having that advantage. I just need to work harder than them. Hard work can beat talent if you work hard enough. Now, if you're extremely talented but also put in enough hard work, then yeah, your ceiling is so high that nobody can reach you. But you would have to put in enough hard work for me to respect that and admit, okay, you've worked as hard or harder than me, but still have a higher ceiling than me. So fine, you should get your flowers. I lost in that scenario. But if you're not working hard enough, but you have a lot of talent, but I'm working 10 times as hard as you, I should beat you just based on that. Not because of my skin color. We need to fight white supremacy. African American communities, Mexican communities, any community needs to come together and continue fighting. They cannot give into nihilism and become complacent and think that there's no hope. There is hope. There just needs to be more white people like me speaking out. We need to come together and fight. All of us, all ethnicities. It's not about white and black. It's about being American. It's about being free. In a free country, it's fair game for everybody. Everybody is born with natural advantages that they don't have control over. But it's about the hard work you put in over your life. And those that are born with benefits, that work hard, if they work hard enough, they do deserve what they get. But those that are born in poorer and unfavorable conditions that don't work hard at all, let alone enough, I won't say deserve what they get, but they should work hard. But that goes into the realm of what it means to work hard, and sometimes people need help to work hard. That's okay. But we'll get to that when we get there. We first need to fight white supremacy. Because if you fight white supremacy, the control that racists have over this country goes down. The control misogynists have over this country goes down and the more free we become. The more equal things become. And this is coming from someone that thought Andrew Tate, not half a decade ago, I genuinely thought Andrew Tate was a good figure to follow. And to be completely fair, there are small points of the red pill side that is fair, because some of the central ideas, the best one and the only good one from them is working out and getting strong. I agree with that. The sentiment around that specific point of you need to work hard and build muscle and get strong, I agree with that. But that's just a piece of it. That's not the entire fucked misogyny around it, of wanting to control women and be powerful in a way that is fascistic, if that's a word, in a fascist way. If you're white watching this video, educate yourself, learn, and fight for those that can barely fight for themselves. And remember, we are not saviors, and we do not deserve any flowers that we do not deserve any flowers for this if we do manage to fight together. We do not deserve recognition because white people brought this upon this country themselves. We did this. We need to fix it, and we should not be applauded for it. Not at all, because we are not saviors. We aren't. We can't save anyone, but we can help. We can help. You have to be special to be a savior. There are very few people that are genuine saviors. There are very few people that are messengers of God. But a normal person can help anyone. I'm a normal person, and I'm trying to learn how I can help. It might take some time for me, and it's okay if it takes time for you, but I am going to continue posting content where I can build a voice. I am going to go to a black church and learn more about the culture. I am going to surround myself with people that are like-minded. I am going to fight against ICE. I am lucky enough that there have not been ICE raids yet, to my knowledge, here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But once there is, and if I see one, I'm probably gonna get arrested. And I don't care. My second girlfriend is Mexican, and she was the best person I had in my life. I love my mom, and I love a lot of my family members, but the issue with family sometimes is that they can be unreliable. That's no shade to them. They just can be unreliable sometimes. She was the most reliable person I ever had, and I associate that with her as a person, but it's not unfair to see that because she's Mexican, because Mexicans stereotypically are hardworking people. So of course she would work hard for someone she loved. And if you're somehow watching this, thank you for being in my life, because you are also a big reason why I'm on this path. It's a mixture of learning about the Democratic Party, exposing myself to hip-hop and learning more about the culture and finding interest in it, and also my second girlfriend, being the inspiration for me to be just a better person in general. I'm gonna go on a small rant here, and it's gonna be very self-centered. I genuinely believe after me and her didn't work out that I'm going to die alone. That state of mind is very easy for me to get super upset and just lay away in my bed for eternity and not do anything with my life. Which I will have days where I do, and that's okay. But I'm not going to let that mindset control me every day. There are going to be days I come out and fight for the people that I love, fight for the people I care about. If I could be in LA right now, I would be fighting the ICE agents. I would be fighting for Compton. Compton is a beautiful city corrupted by the government. The government is the issue, and the only reason the government can do what they do circles back to white supremacy. That is the root cause. We get rid of that, we neutralize that, a lot of the other problems become much more realistic to solve. There's still work needed to be done after that, but it becomes much easier, much more realistic when we fight and neutralize white supremacy. I'm not better than any other average person, at least in ways that I haven't worked for. I don't want to be better than anyone outside of the hard work I put in. That's the only way I want to be above anyone, is through the hard work I put in myself and in the things I do, not by my skin color. And I do not want other people to be disadvantaged because of their skin color. They don't deserve that. As a white person, I have no culture. I have nothing to be proud of. Instead of being proud of something, I have white guilt, which sucks, which I want to use as something that I can use to my advantage to help others. But that might be, and it's fair to see of having the view of, oh, you're only appreciating these cultures because you have none, so you're envious. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay for me to be that way, as long as I use it positively. You can take something that can be viewed as bad and use it for good. If any of you have sat through this 30-minute video with me, of me just ranting, thank you for staying, and please, if you're not white, please keep fighting. There is hope for you. There's hope for all of us. There are many people out there that are like me in terms of skin tone and in terms of mindset that want to fight for you. And I hope to reach more people like us that will fight with you. And for anyone that is of my skin tone and is progressively and open-minded, please just learn some surface level stuff enough to get you riled up to work towards this future for us. Because if we get rid of white supremacy, yeah, we'll lose some wrong advantages that we have, but it also makes our life easier. It also makes our life better. If you're white and you're still here, please fight white supremacy with me, with us. We need to eat the rich. We need to fight against them, because they are not like us, and we need to be better. Some closing thoughts is we need to, I'll make another video of this, maybe just a short. We need to spread propaganda. We need to be as delusional as red pills. We need to be as asinine and annoying. We need to take from their playbook, use it for ourselves. But the thing is, for us socialists and leftists, we have like evidence and knowledge to back it up, but we cannot be intellectual about it. We need to be assholes. We need to just be rampant, just dogs against them like they are to us. The only difference is that we have, like, if we break it down, we have more of an argument, but we need to be as rabid as they are. We need to be just out there just being crazy about it. We need to be propagandists. Spread propaganda involving socialism and leftism, because we need to take from their playbook, because that's what they do to us. So we need to dumb ourselves down, be patient as well, but take from their playbook, act like them, but with our message. Because what we're doing now of acting intellectual and smarter isn't working. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a good day, and I wish the best for all of us. We gonna be alright. Peace.